Now, since 2014, Sittingbourne-based ready meal company Cook has been running a scheme called the Raw Talent Programme. It's been set up to help those facing challenges when getting back to work. Let's talk to Annie first. Annie Gale is the Raw Talent Manager. Annie, thanks for your time. How are you?
Hello. Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. First of all, tell us about Raw Talent. Tell us about the programme and how it all started.
Yeah, well, I think it started from a belief deep down in our belly somewhere, even 23 years ago when the business was first set up from a little kitchen in North Kent, that doing good business is about more than just turning a profit. So we've always been very nerdy or passionate about making great food. We love our community, we love our environment, and something deep down has always wanted to use our business as a force for good in society and to leave the people around us and the environment around us a little bit better than we found them. So the Raw Talent Programme is one of a number of things we do to that end, really. As you say, it exists. Raw stands for Ready and Working, and it exists to support people with barriers to employment into work that is meaningful and sustainable. And those barriers can include people who've got a criminal conviction, including but not limited to people who've been in prison, also people who've been out of work because of mental health challenges or addictions or homelessness. And we've been running the programme for about 6 years officially. So we've probably been running it for quite a long time unofficially. But since we've been counting, we've had 93 people join the business through the programme, through Raw Talent, of whom 27 are currently with us. And all sorts of different barriers to employment have been jumped, I suppose, by that group of people. And the one thing to say is that we absolutely love it, and we are really, really proud and very grateful to be able to do this, because we believe that people are amazing and just have potential to be really, really incredible in the right environment.
It's interesting, isn't it? And you know, sometimes employers they only look at the CV, and sometimes they don't look at the people behind the CV, do they? And I think that's a problem, and that's a kind of a word and a philosophy that needs to be spread.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have John. You'll speak to John in a moment, who loves this. He talks about gold being in everyone. And we believe very firmly that our past is a part of our story. It is. I mean, the CV tells a story which can be relevant, but it's only a part of it, and it absolutely doesn't define the future. And we've seen that in so many people, so many occasions. It's been, just so exciting to see people kind of erupt from being captured by something into work that is purposeful. It gives them a reason to get up in the morning, and real pride. It's just fantastic. I could tell you lots of stories.
Oh, I'm sure. But at the end of it, there's so much more to people, to a human being, than what's written down on a bit of paper about them. And
absolutely.
And until you meet them face to face or hear their stories one on one, you just don't know. You don't know what a person has been through and what led them to be in a position at a certain time or whatever. And why is it so important, do you think, Anna, for your brand, for the Cook brand, to be more than just a food business? Going out there making food and putting it on the shelves. Why do you think it's so important for your company to be part of this?
Well, we are very much driven by our purpose, rather than, like I say, just the profit element of running a business. And for us, people are really important. So whilst we're a manufacturing and a retail business in a way, because we make the food and we sell it in our shops, we're very, vertically integrated like that. We see ourselves really as a people business. We're all about the people, and life is all about relationships. So it's very important to us that people are seen as just that. And in fact, when what you're saying is absolutely true, when we're looking to hire people, we hire them very much according to values and approach, as opposed to necessarily experience for a lot of our roles. So we have our own, what we call our essential ingredients, which are our values at Cook, and they're very, very. We hold very tightly to them, and we do recruit and develop people according to our essential ingredients, as opposed to necessarily experience.
Okay, Annie, hang in there. I'm going to talk to. Let's talk to John now. Morning, John. This is John Daines, by the way, who was recruited by the scheme back in 2014. How are you, John? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm brilliant, fantastic.
Good. I'm really glad to hear it. John, tell us about your journey and how you ended up with the scheme and how you got involved in it, basically.
Okay, so just an edited highlight. I was somebody who made some bad choices in my past. I rebelled against authority, ended up addicted to a Class A drug, heroin and crack cocaine, ended up being in prison over a decade. And I just lived a life of consumed of violence and crime to feed my habit, made some bad choices. I was dismantled. And drugs has got the ability to hide your true identity. And I didn't know myself. I was lonely. I was confused. And I broke down relationships. And I was just living a life, solitary confinement, away from any human activity. You know, and it was a bad place to be in. I had 2 murder attempts on my life. And dismantled. I was desensitized to the normality of life, and I was an exile from my community. I got run out by the authorities. So that's me painting a picture. But then how bad I was. So then Cook come on the scene, and I was using a homeless centre. I was volunteering for 2 years, and I was stagnant, showing no activity, dull, sluggish. I was in a bad way. And Cook said, anybody who comes through that homeless centre, okay, we give them a job. So I was the first person to come through that homeless centre and enter into Cook. And Cook, for me, was really impactful. And it's Cook as a company that, you know, they worked out their values and they make every decision according to them values, and they're a force for good in society, in their community. And
a lot of people, John, will be listening, and they'll have heard what you went through and what happened to you. And there'll be people who think, how on earth do you come through that? Do you come through the other side? And there'll be people who are going through it probably now. They might not be necessarily listening to this radio program right now, but their families might be, or their friends might be. How do you get into that mindset to get out of that awful place where you were?
I mean, for me, it's like Annie said about we believe that gold in everyone. For me, it's the environment. It's about identifying the environment. And the environment, like if I can use an illustration, a gold mining, people go down, they extract rock, extract mineral, and they put it through a furnace. They apply heat to it. It's the environment they put it in, which brought value, which brought worth and brought beauty to it. But it was only a bit of rock, it was only a bit of mineral, but it was the environment that it was in what brought gold, like what brought it to gold. So for me, for a business who give people second chances, it's the right environment. And at Cook, it's everyone's responsibility to collectively identify people's potential and help them step into it. And so in essence, it is the environment. It is identifying the right environment and having the right support and the love and the guidance to be able to come to fruition in the start of changing your life.
It sounds like you're in a really good place now, John. What are you doing in the company now, and what do you see for your future in it?
Oh, that's the big vision, the end vision, the future. Okay. So for me now, so what I do, I'm working full-time with Annie on the Raw Talent team. So obviously we recruit, we train people up. We get to go into all over London, in the prisons, doing job fairs, recovery talks, all this sort of stuff that we're doing. But at the end of the training, there'll be a job offer and a select of jobs to certain people. So what I do is I call it buddying. So like I mentor people and I sit down with them and I just help them fit into the company, build relationships. We set little goals, little actions. We review it every week. What went well, even better if. We work on their left hands. We work on where they feel like they're not firing on all cylinders, and just give them that extra support at the beginning. Up to 12 weeks it is. I sit down with them up to 12 weeks just to help them so then they can get left to their own devices, and it works. And we're seeing like loads of people come through and benefiting from it, and it's incredible, and it's breathtaking for me. It's just tremendous intervention what Cook and the Raw Talent Programme do for people who's lived crazy lifestyles, whatever that would be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you sound like you're in such a positive, in such a great place at the moment, John. Annie, what are your hopes for the initiative going forward?
I love that.
Take over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. We have a funny thing where I feel, you can get swept away with numbers, and of course we would love to grow the Raw Talent Programme and offer, as we grow as a business, and offer what we do to more people. We would love to. However, we've got to keep really focused on the person sitting in front of us. And if we look at that one person, and if we can help in some way that person to see that, recognise their potential and walk into it, I believe the thing will grow anyway, and that's, that would be wonderful. We would love also at one stage, if there's anyone out there who might be able to help, to have some sort of accommodation, perhaps linked with the Raw Talent Programme. But yes, we'd love to carry on doing this. We'd also love to encourage other employers if there's anything we can share. We've been so helped by Timpson's, Greg's and others in our journey, and we'd love to offer that to other employers if there are any who'd like to have a go.
Brilliant. Well, Annie, it's been lovely talking to you. John as well, John Daines, good luck to you. And Annie, thank you for your time. Annie Gale, the Raw Talent Manager. That's good stuff. It's BBC Radio Kent.